Did you know that spiders have 8 legs? I love spiders because they eat mosquitoes. Do you notice the difference between those two different things that I said? One, spiders have 8 legs, is a fact that's teaching you something. Another, I love spiders because they eat mosquitoes. Those two things that I said are two different kinds of writing. One is informational, and the other is persuasive writing. One is teaching you something, and one is trying to convince you of something and giving you my opinion. All right, so maybe you all got the gist of what we're going to be working on today. Noticing the difference between informational writing, which you've been working on a lot in Spanish class, and persuasive writing that we started to work on since we did distance learning with Chocolate Milk in Schools. You all did an awesome job with your Chocolate Milk in Schools opinion papers. Now we're going to move on to you choosing what you want to write about, what you have a strong opinion on. But before we do that, we want to make sure that we have a strong understanding of what persuasive writing is. So for today, the learning target is I can compare and contrast informative and persuasive writing. So step 1, watch this video. You're doing it, rock stars. Step 2, you're going to open up this document in Google Classroom, the compare and contrast informative and opinion writing document. Okay, so I'm going to go to Google Classroom, go to your Google Classroom page, and it should be a new one that is posted under English writing. It'll be right up here at the top. So when you open up this document, it'll look like this. It says compare and contrast informative and opinion writing. So what you're going to do is you are going to read through this article and persuasive essay here. So let's read the directions to know exactly what we're going to need to do. After reading the Michael Jordan article and the Michael Jordan persuasive essay, compare and contrast the two kinds of writing. What characteristics do only informative texts have, which is the Michael Jordan biography, and what characteristics do only persuasive writing have, which is the Michael Jordan soars above the rest essay? Also, what do they have in common? Write your thoughts in the table below, which is right down here. So I'm going to open these up and I'm going to read them to you. So please follow along with me while you read. But first, think to yourself, what is the difference between informative writing and persuasive writing? What do you think is the difference? What does one have that the other doesn't? All right, let's read through an example. The first one we're reading through is informational essay. Let me see if I can hide that. Is an informational essay all about Michael Jordan. So first I see some facts here. It says his occupation, basketball player. That means his job. When he was born, February 17th, 1963, in Brooklyn, New York. His nicknames, Air Jordan, his airness, MJ, and he's best known for, widely considered the greatest basketball player of all time. Now let's read some more of this article. Biography. Where was Michael born? Michael Jeffrey Jordan was born in Brooklyn, New York on February 17, 1963. However, his family moved to Wilmington, North Carolina when he was still a young child. Michael grew up and honed his basketball skills at Emsley A. Laney High School in Wilmington, where he became a McDonald's All-American by his senior year. Michael also played baseball and football in high school. He grew up with 2 older sisters, an older brother and a younger sister. Where did Michael Jordan go to college? Before I start this next section, think to yourself, what is something that you notice so far? This is an informational text. What do I notice? What are the characteristics? What do you see here? I know one thing that I notice is it's giving us facts. It's telling us where Michael was born. Where did he go to college? It told us what some of his nicknames are, when he was born, what his job was. So I'm going to go ahead and list this under only informative texts. So they tell us facts, like when someone is born, their job, nicknames, where they went to college, ... because there are more facts that they tell us. So that's one thing that I noticed when reading this Michael Jordan article. So later, you are going to read through more of this and find more characteristics, more things you notice in this article, and write them in this column here. Now, if I go back to that document where informational text is all about Michael Jordan, if you scroll down in this same document, there'll be a new title called Persuasive Essay or Opinion Essay. Now, I want you to think about what makes this piece of writing different from the article. How is this different from an informational text? Okay, I'm going to read through it, and while I read, think that to yourself. Michael Jordan soars above the rest. Which NBA athlete is the only person on earth who cut through the air faster than a rocket and made a slam dunk with deadly accuracy? This person is Michael Jordan. It is clear that Jordan is the best player in the history of the NBA, and this is proven through his leadership abilities, athletic skills, and good sportsmanship. Michael Jordan is an amazing leader. Phil Jackson, Jordan's Chicago Bulls coach of 8 years, often states that Jordan sets a wonderful example for his other teammates. Jordan offers his assistance to encourage the other players to be their best and remains committed to the team's goals. This successful style of leadership has inspired his team to win multiple championships. The ability to lead others and achieve success as a team is invaluable in a player. So I'm going to pause there for a second and think, how is this different than what I read before? How is this persuasive essay different than the article, the informational text about Michael Jordan? I mean, I notice that there are still facts, like they still told us who his coach was. That's a fact. I can't argue against that. Like, his coach was Phil Jackson. That's still a fact. But what makes this different? Let me see. It is clear that Jordan is the best player in the history of the NBA. Do you all agree with that? Do you think Michael Jordan is the best player in the history of the NBA? I bet maybe some of you disagree. Maybe there are other people who you think are very talented and are the best player in the history of NBA. This is the writer's opinion. This is something they think. They give a lot of facts. They tell you about how he was an amazing leader and give examples, evidence, facts for why he was a great leader. But him being the best person in the history of the NBA is his opinion. So I'm going to go back to my document and I'm going to write in something that is a characteristic only of persuasive and opinion writing is it tells the author's opinion or something they think, period. This can be argued, period. So I know that the author, whoever wrote this, it was a student, a fifth grader, I think. The student who wrote this article, this is their opinion that they think that Michael Jordan is the best player in the history of the NBA. So I'm going to write that as an example. For example, Michael Jordan is the best player in the history of the NBA, period. That is his opinion, something he thinks. Something that I noticed both of them have is they both have facts. So informational maybe only tells us facts, but the opinion paper also had some facts. Like it told us, the opinion paper told us who his coach was, told us some things that he that he would provide assistance to other players, that he helped out other players. So they both give us facts, but maybe they use them in different ways. So both articles give us facts. All right. So now I'm going to leave it up to you. Your job now is to look back through these articles. So the link is right here. Click on this link on your own computer and look back through the persuasive essay, read through the rest of it, look back through the article all about Michael Jordan and see what do you notice is only in the informative text. And what do you notice is only in the persuasive text? And what is something that they both have in common? All right, you all got this. You're doing such great work. We all are so proud of you. Keep it up. I look forward to seeing all that you found.